can make a stone of the heart. I ask you all to work with each other, to support each other, not to let your hearts turn to stone, to be determined to go home to a Kosovo where all the children can go to school and all the children can laugh and play, and we can have a future that is not only free of the bad things that have happened to you, but is full of hope and opportunity, where you are part of Europe and a free world, where all the children can pursue their faith, their religion, and their dreams. We are working hard for that day. God bless you, and thank you very much.
Well, a standing ovation from some of the refugees for President Clinton visiting the Ingelheim refugee camp. Germany, of course, has taken more Albanian refugees than any other country in Europe, something between 5,000 and 10,000. And they've been coming to Germany for the best part of a year, since long before the NATO bombing campaign began. The President also promising to improve the registration arrangements to help people trace their family members, and to install computer terminals at refugee camps to provide constant updates in Albania who've taken refuge in Germany. This afternoon he'll be talking again to German Chancellor Gerhard Schröder before flying back to Washington.
The first refugees to arrive in the United States will today begin to settle into their new temporary homes at the Fort Dix Army Base. 450 landed in New Jersey. Another 400 are due at LaGuardia Air Force Base tomorrow. 20,000 ethnic Albanians are expected to be taken in by America.
Kosovo's ethnic Albanian political leader Ibrahim Rugova has met Italy's Prime Minister for peace talks in Rome. His appearance sparked surprise among many who believed he was being held under house arrest by Serbian forces in Belgrade.
So all eyes on the agreement, which would include Russia.
Germany may well mark a turning point in the Kosovo crisis. As he meets the German Chancellor today, foreign ministers of the 7 most industrialized countries will be talking to the Russians, trying to agree on an international military presence in Kosovo.
I hope that President Milosevic will see that sense lies in accepting NATO's conditions, and I hope that the message today from the G8 foreign ministers is going to be a robust one to him, that he cannot avoid these responsibilities, that NATO will prevail, and that the refugees must get home in safety and security.
But as those diplomatic efforts go on, the President was telling servicemen in Germany's biggest American airbase that there'll be no let-up in the bombing. As all that goes on in Germany, the first refugees from Kosovo have arrived in the United States, with few possessions, simply glad to be alive. Hillary Clinton was there to greet them and tell them that they would eventually be able to return to their homes in Kosovo.
To be able to shake their hands and look in their eyes and hear their words of gratitude that they wanted me to convey to the President and the American people was really an overwhelming experience.
Macedonia has closed its border with Kosovo as aid workers insist that the Serbs were stepping up their ethnic cleansing. These were the last families to be allowed to cross the border as Macedonia protested that the West was not providing enough help to cope with the flood of refugees. Diplomatic efforts are now concentrated on trying to find a formula for policing a liberated Kosovo, which the Russians will find acceptable. If it's successful, Milosevic's isolation will be complete. Michael Sullivan, Sky News.
As Russia...
Welcome to the world today from London. I'm Stephen Cole. Foreign ministers of the main Western powers, together with Russia, have agreed that a United Nations force should secure Kosovo after Serb forces pull out. After meeting in Bonn, the ministers agreed on a set of principles for the eventual resolution of the war, according to the objectives declared by NATO at the beginning of the air campaign. It envisages the return of the refugees and the establishment of an interim administration approved by the UN Security Council. The principles meet a Russian demand that any peacekeeping force be under UN control. President Clinton said he would welcome Russian participation in such a force. Well, in just a few minutes, we'll be going live to NATO's daily news conference at their headquarters in Brussels. NATO's spokesman, Jamie Shea, is telling the media that he'll present a detailed briefing on NATO attacks against Yugoslav ground forces. And we'll be bringing you that live here on BBC World. But first, a little more on that plan the G8 has come up with for peace. The US Secretary of State Madeleine Albright said NATO troops, including a US contingent, must be at the core of an international security force in Kosovo. And earlier, President Clinton had said he would welcome Russian involvement in any such force. When asked if the Russian cooperation on Kosovo with the other G8 countries signified NATO concessions to Moscow, Ms. Albright had this response.
We have come to a wider agreement with the Russians, and frankly, I don't see this as a zero-sum game. I see the fact that the Russians are trying to deal with this issue, and I see, for me, this was not concessions, this was a building process.
The building process. The US Secretary of State Madeleine Albright speaking a little earlier. The German Foreign Minister Joschka Fischer outlined the principles which had been agreed by the meeting in Bonn.
The G8 foreign ministers adopted the following general principles on the political solution to the Kosovo crisis. Immediate and verifiable end of violence and repression in Kosovo. Withdrawal from Kosovo of military, police and paramilitary forces. Deployment in Kosovo of effective international civil and security presences endorsed and adopted by the United Nations, capable of guaranteeing the achievement of the common objectives. Establishment of an interim administration for Kosovo to be decided by the Security Council of the United Nations to...
Joschka Fischer. Well, let's cross to Brussels and the NATO press briefing, and here's Jamie Shea.
Tell you that the Secretary-General had a conversation a few moments ago with Mr. Rugova, and spoke also earlier this morning to Mr. D'Alema, the Prime Minister of Italy, and we very much welcome the fact that Mr. Rugova is now in Italy, that he has been able to travel, as he has long wished to be able to do, and from the contacts that the Secretary-General and other alliance leaders have had with Mr. Rugova today, it does appear that he's in good shape, good physical shape, good mental shape, particularly after the very difficult life that he has had in the last few weeks in Kosovo. And we hope very much that when he goes to visit other European capitals, as I believe he's planning to do soon, he will also come and see us here again at NATO headquarters. You recall that he was here some months ago. And you will hear from Mr. Rugova directly at a press conference which he is to give later on today in Rome with Mr. D'Alema. Secondly, you've just seen in the last few moments the breaking news from Bonn, where the G8 foreign ministers meeting has just concluded under the chairmanship, of course, of Germany. You've seen the points to which the G8 foreign ministers have agreed: an immediate and verifiable end of violence and repression in Kosovo, the withdrawal from Kosovo of military, police and paramilitary forces, the deployment in Kosovo of effective international civil and security presences endorsed by the United Nations, the establishment of an interim administration for Kosovo to be decided by the UN Security Council, the safe and free return of all refugees and displaced persons, a political process towards the establishment of an interim political framework agreement providing for self-government for Kosovo and taking full account of the Rambouillet Accords, and finally a comprehensive approach to the economic development and stabilization of the crisis region. NATO, of course, welcomes very warmly the very positive outcome of the G8 meeting today. I think it shows that the diplomatic track is fully functioning at the moment and is moving forward, and that the cooperation between NATO and Russia can be a very important factor in helping us to end this crisis on the basis, of course, of the key objectives of the international community for peace with justice in Kosovo.
of course, a lot of outstanding performance of the NATO men and women who are accomplishing the mission with such a good success. He also stated that the President remains resolute that operations will continue until this crisis is resolved in accordance with NATO's well-stated terms. Turning to the update, weather affected our air operations again. However, we were able to conduct successful attacks in Serbia and Kosovo, further decreasing the capabilities of the military and police forces throughout Yugoslavia. This slide shows you the range of fixed targets we attacked during the past 24 hours. We continue to strike the Serbian military's fuel supplies very hard with attacks against petroleum facilities at Požega and Niš, along with the other side shown here, further decreasing mobility of Serbian forces. We also, operation, as you all are aware of, Allied forces had to fight with bad weather. It was so poor that we could operate against fielded forces only about 15% of the time. 15% of the time. This sketch draws a little attention on what I'm saying, clouds hiding top of mountains. It has subsequently improved, allowing us to inflict greater damage on Serb forces on the ground. Since those early days, we have been able to adapt our tactics to take maximum advantage of our comprehensive array of intelligence gathering capabilities. And now we are able to collect and distribute information efficiently so that our air crews are able to react quickly to targets also of opportunity. We have also adjusted our flying patterns to ensure a continuous presence of combat air power that is able to operate in the directed attacks against these ground forces. We have planes circling, awaiting the call to strike from other aircraft flying forward air control, or what we call spotter missions. The Serb-fielded forces that we confront are arrayed throughout Kosovo as portrayed on this map. To attack these forces, we have employed a mix of NATO aircraft that are available for use in direct attacks. The versatility of these aircraft allows us to use a type of weapon that provides maximum effectiveness against the target and minimize damage to civilians and civilian property. Our arsenal ranges from guns to precision-guided weapons and munitions, and to specialized weapons employing the very latest technology. Remember what we have been going against: a sophisticated network of command posts, anti-aircraft missiles and guns, tanks, artillery pieces, armored personnel carriers, supply convoys, ammunition and petroleum stockage points, and Serb army and special police units. Serb-fielded forces are very keenly aware of the need for camouflage, concealment and deception to protect themselves from our aircrew.
Some of this is just asking you to repeat what you said so I understand it more clearly, but you said, if my notes are correct, that more than 300 tanks, artillery pieces, APCs, and trucks had been struck, and that 200 of these were representing 20% of the total of that category of stuff, or what? 20% of it was, or 200 of them were destroyed. Would this be about a quarter of all such heavy equipment then has been put out of action or destroyed, as a briefer in the Pentagon suggested 2 days ago? And then you went on to say something about 50% losses meant the forces weren't effective, and I didn't understand what you were saying there. If you could repeat that again or make it clearer, I'd appreciate it.
Well, when I'm saying, when I was talking about the 20%, keep in mind that I always quote Sakur: a tank is not a tank is not a tank. If the tank, even if it's not destroyed, is somewhere hiding and it doesn't have fuel and it doesn't have ammunition, it's not worth, it doesn't have any combat effectiveness. So the numbers, even though you were asking numbers since the last few days, numbers always have to be related with the kind of operations we are in. So if the tank cannot move, it's no difference if it's destroyed, or if it's out of order, or if it has no ammunition.
Per consentire ai profughi di uscire dal Kosovo, dalla Macedonia sta per partire il ponte aereo che porterà in Italia circa 10.000 rifugiati.
Io vorrei venire in Italia con la mia famiglia. Ci sono già stato, facevo il falegname in questa azienda a Bolzano. Vedete, ho anche la carta d'identità. Spero che mi accettino nella lista. Un lavoro non facile, quello dell'Alto Commissariato per i Rifugiati. Le richieste per venire in Italia sono tantissime. A 2 giorni dall'inizio del ponte aereo, che porterà 10.000 profughi kosovari nel nostro paese, nei campi si è già diffusa la voce e le aspettative sono alte, come ci spiega la responsabile dell'ONU a Stenkovac.
Sempre ci sono richieste per andare in tutti i paesi e adesso non posso dire quanti saranno, ma ogni volta che si apre una quota, diciamo che si attiva una quota, ci sono molti che vengono a cercarci per dirci io vorrei andare in Italia, vorrei andare a Gran Bretagna, vorrei andare all'Irlanda.
Tra i primi a partire ci saranno sicuramente 200 kosovari di religione cattolica del cui trasferimento si sta occupando la Caritas italiana. Intanto il governo macedone ha minacciato di chiudere le frontiere e accettare di volta in volta un numero di profughi pari a quello di coloro che verranno evacuati.
E ora la cronaca, Baby Gang ancora.
Questa cosa bianca presumo sia residui di polvere da sparo o cos'altro. Fatto sta che quello, vedete, è l'immagine terribile. È il cavallo di Mustafa. Mustafa è morto, è seppellito adesso alle Tai.
Nel villaggio sono rimasti solo gli uomini, 1 o 2 per casa, per ogni casa. Di notte stanno con la polizia e gli altri soldati e combattono. Andiamo uno dopo l'altro, questa strada qua, e saliamo fino ad un certo punto. Ma uno dopo l'altro, insomma, non tutti insieme.
Ok. Erdita. Come si chiama?
Ahmed Hassan Koka.
Lui si chiama Ahmed Hassan Koka.
Ahmed Hassan Koka.
Okay.
Hai combattuto stanotte?
Lui ha 67 anni. A che luftu sono stato? Tutta la notte a Cambogia.
Hanno bombardato?
Gli 2 posti serbiti.
Sentite, sentite.
No, ci dice di andare via il più presto possibile perché cominceranno pure qua.
Bombardano. Michele, domani continueremo a raccontarvi la storia di Ahmed Hassan, una piccola storia di frontiera, di soldati che combattono per un pezzo di terra. Da qui vi raccontiamo magari altre storie, come quella di Yahona, 11 anni, viene dal Kosovo, i suoi genitori sono laggiù. A lei sono estranei, come a tutti i bambini che stanno intorno a noi, i grandi fatti della diplomazia internazionale. Loro però coltivano la speranza di tornare a casa. Qual è la cosa che le manca di più, Saba?
Cerca mali më shumë. Gli mancano i suoi genitori.
Perché i genitori di Yahona sono...
Il giorno che li hanno cacciati via, lei stava dallo zio, è andata via lei e i genitori sono rimasti ancora là.
Michele, per la maggior parte dei kosovari la via diplomatica, la risoluzione diplomatica, questo è triste dirlo, è una via non delle migliori, diciamola tutta. Loro vogliono riprendersi la terra e vogliono anche gli uomini ripagare i conti con quelli che li hanno fatto soffrire le pene che abbiamo raccontato in questi giorni. Questi, vedete, sono i soldati dell'UCK in una in un documento eccezionale della TV albanese. Guardate nella sua lividezza, nella sua crudezza questo documento di guerra. I nostri ragazzi sono dei bravi soldati, basta che io gli dia un ordine e loro raggiungono gli obiettivi.
Unë gati për zjarr. Zjarr!
Alla faceva Sipr con la sua posizione.
È stata durissima, da quel lato siamo stati circondati, ci hanno teso una trappola, hanno sparato dappertutto. Fra i miei ragazzi è morto Bashkim, uno dei soldati migliori, si chiamava Bashkim.
Bashkim Jasici.
Questi sono etnici, sono paramilitari. Sappiamo chi sono e da dove vengono dei loro documenti. Lo sappiamo, sono paramilitari. Guardate. Gli piaceva farsi le sigarette da solo il serbo, eh? Guarda qua. Ehi, non è che arriviamo davanti al tribunale dell'Aia? No. Come sta la tua famiglia? Chi è riuscito a passare? Michele, parlavamo con Iaona, naturalmente Iaona non sa che cosa stiamo trasmettendo e quelli che abbiamo trasmesso, quei ragazzi, quegli uomini sono i papà, i fratelli della gente che ci sta intorno. Iaona è spaventata dalla telecamera, però ci diceva che voleva tornare in Kosovo, voleva ritornare dal suo papà e dalla sua mamma.
Quello è il suo più grande desiderio in questo momento, ritornare in Kosovo e abbracciare la sua mamma e il suo padre.
E noi pensiamo che il senso della diplomazia, i grandi tavoli della diplomazia di Washington, di Belgrado e di Roma debbano passare attraverso queste persone, questi bambini, come Iaona e come tutti quelli che ci stanno intorno. Non so se abbiamo ancora tempo, Michele, se vuoi farci domande.
No, io volevo soltanto riferire a te e naturalmente ai nostri ascoltatori, innanzitutto questa prima reazione che viene dall'UCK, fonti di agenzia naturalmente, al progetto, al piano dei G8, insomma, quindi questo piano di pace avviato dagli 8 grandi, 7 più la Russia, e che dovrebbe diventare una risoluzione dell'ONU e che prevede una forza mista, come si diceva, civile e militare in Kosovo. Bene, l'UCK dice, ed è il primo commento, dice: accetteremo tutte le forze straniere in Kosovo ma solo a condizione che siano sotto il comando della NATO, e poi l'UCK aggiunge: non si può trattare sul disarmo della nostra organizzazione, dell'UCK stesso, l'organizzazione è chiaramente indipendentista del Kosovo, una richiesta di questo tipo sarebbe ingiusta. Questa è la prima reazione dell'UCK che raccomanda poi a Rugova, sapete Rugova è il leader moderato kosovaro che in queste ore è a Roma, ha incontrato esponenti del governo, il Presidente del Consiglio D'Alema, è previsto tra poco, nel giro di un'ora credo, una dichiarazione congiunta di D'Alema e Rugova. Beh, l'UCK raccomanda a Rugova naturalmente di tenere conto rigorosamente di tutti i punti di vista dell'UCK.
Certo.
Che ti senti di dire su questo, Stefano, quello che ho appena letto?
Guarda Michele, in tutti questi giorni la sensazione, abbiamo parlato naturalmente con rappresentanti dell'UCK, ragazzi dell'età nostra che stanno combattendo per la loro terra, e la sensazione è appunto che la via diplomatica sia una risorsa per loro, ma loro, come dire, hanno un sogno che coltivano, quello comunque di riprendersi la loro terra, e se la diplomazia gli darà una mano, ben venga. Loro comunque vogliono, e questo è duro da dirsi, ripagare dei conti in sospeso. Speriamo che la diplomazia fermi il braccio armato di tutti quanti, anche dei soldati dell'UCK, e riporti Iaona e come tanti nelle loro case, senza spargimenti di sangue. Questo ce lo auguriamo e lo auspichiamo anche da qui, anche perché qui è più duro vivere questa guerra infame.
Noi intanto restiamo dalle tue parti, dalle parti Iaona e degli altri bambini.